Hello ladies and gentlemen, Matt and Will here for a slightly different game of 40k today. A bit of a narrative game. So we are playing, what's it called? Blitz, I think is the game, where we have an attacker in this quarter of the board. We have a no man's land in the centre. We have the defender's first deployment zone running up that way, and the second running this way, down from dice to edge. So the idea being, this is the Mechanicum aligned world of Avitius, just on the edge of the, I'm going to, please forgive the pronunciation of this, just on the edge of the Cicatrix Maledictum.
Yeah, sounds close enough.
It's close enough. And the word bearers, ably commanded by myself, are desperately trying to take the world and its forges and its population and subvert them to the worship of the true powers of the galaxy. True power of the galaxy, which is chaos, and not the rotting corpse of the so-called God Emperor. So over here, so the idea being, for this game, the attacker gets 1 victory point for each unit that has at least 1 model in this first defenders section at the end of the game, and you get 2 for each unit that has at least 1 model wholly within the second deployment zone. And the defender gets 1 point for each unit they destroy or something. So we also recycle units. So the attacker can bring back any unit they want on a certain dice roll. We'll go over it if it happens. We're also going to play it that, given that this is a Forge world and we're trying to sort of spin a narrative, you'd anticipate there'd be quite a lot of Mechanicum forces around. So Will can also bring back units. But we've decided the dice roll is slightly more difficult for each of us, instead of it being... It's 4+ normally, and we're going to make it 5+ for each of us. Exactly. It's variable game length as well, but we're also adding in a couple of, well, 3 in fact, objectives. So 1 on the building there. This is a very important building to hold because it's got the whatever it's called, the defense gun, and that's just inside no man's land. We've got a second here in the ruins of the gatehouse. There's the gate from the fence along the middle. Second is the ruin of the gatehouse. And the third one is possibly the coolest one, is this guy. This Tech Priest Engine Seer. So he is attempting to pass on information and intelligence about the Word Bearer's force to the Imperial Fists. So if I kill this guy or capture him by the end of the game, then in the future games, Will won't be allowed to call on Imperial Fist reinforcements. If I don't kill him and the Land Raider gets away, then he can bring Imperial Fists.
At the end of the game,
exactly.
If he's still alive.
So these guys have served no purpose in the game. They can't attack. No, they have no. Essentially, it's just scenery for the Land Raider. This guy is his normal strength, toughness, and wounds. So if I shoot him or charge him in combat or whatever, I've got to basically kill him or be in base contact with him at the end of the game. So, streaming on from this side, very, very terrain-heavy board. We just look down this way. There is a lot of line of sight blocking terrain coming on, and foolishly this time, I've actually bought a relatively static Chaos list. So we've both got quite shooty armies, So, yes, 2,000 points is what we're playing. There will be some recycling of units. Obviously, we'll go over that as we go through the game, and that happens. And, it should be really good fun, I think. I've forgotten the name of the planet already. Avitius. Each of the objectives is worth 3 points at the end, with the exception of the Land Raider, I think, at the back, which will say 5. And then we've obviously got the standard scoring for deployment zones and such as we go through. If anything crazy happens, rules-wise, we'll obviously fill you in on what those rules are. I get the preliminary bombardment at the beginning.
There's a few extra stratagems and stuff like that, but we'll go over them.
If we use them.
Yeah.
I get a bombardment at the beginning of the game, which is quite cool. I could potentially be doing D6 mortal wounds to everything.
Set some mines.
Yeah, I will set some mines. It's all fun. So we're going to have a really good time with this. We hope you enjoy the video, and we'll try and keep it as narrative as possible from now on.
Yeah.
But just to explain what was going on. So, final thing, before we get any further, Matt and the big ruined buildings are from GameMat.eu.
I was going to say, and Will.
Yes, thanks, Will. So these big ruins and the mat are from GameMat.eu, and we just picked these other bits of terrain and things up off eBay and Games Workshop and various places, and the craters are obviously Games Workshop ones. So, game on.
Yes.
Forces of Chaos invading Avitius.
Yeah.
Which Forge World are you playing?
I was going to dice roll it, actually.
Okay, do you want to do that now?
I'll do that now. Very important roll.
Yep.
I don't know which one I want. But...
No, that's as cocked as you can be. There's a 6.
Actually, I think there's more than 6 Forge Worlds, isn't there?
7, I think.
Yeah, so that's not going to work.
Just pick one.
Let's go for Graya.
Okay.
The 6. Those that ignore death.
Okay, nice. I like it. So, Forces of the Wordbearers.
Yeah.
Mighty 17th Legion invading Avitius, the Graya-aligned world on the edge of the Cicatrix Maledictum.
Indeed.
Let's see who can hold out, whether I can take out that pesky little guy in the corner, or if Will can repel borders and save the planet, essentially. So that'll pretty much get decide what happens in the future, whether we play any more of these or not.
Yeah.
But hopefully, yes. Wordbearers attacking, AdMech defending. Let's go and see the armies. Alright, so here is it exactly 2,000 points?
It is 1,996.
Yeah, nice. So 2,000 points-ish of Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yep.
Running as Forge World Graya.
Yep.
For this well, what we hope will end up being a campaign. Obviously, depending on whether or not you win this game or not. Yeah, exactly. So we have Warlord.
Yep, that is the Warlord. That is a Dominus,
Yep.
who's got a Phosphor Serpenter and a Volkite Blaster.
Yep, Phosphor Serpenter, Volkite Blaster.
Refract field. His name is Pluraxis Ort.
Pluraxis Ort, very much like it.
Yep, that
With a second
is
Dominus.
his second,
Yep.
the Dominus. Axarch Phaser.
Mm-hmm.
He has got the Macrostubber
Yep.
and the Eradication Ray.
Yep. Okay, Macrostubber around there. Moving into troops, let's go this way.
So those are the breaches.
Yep.
So 3 breaches with the Arc Claw and the Torsion Cannon.
Yep.
Behind them, we've got the Destroyers,
Mm-hmm.
the Heavy Grav Cannon, and they've got
Phosphor Blasters. Yeah.
Over here, more troops. Those are the first squad of Vanguard.
Yep.
So those are the ones I think with the arc rifles.
Yep, 2 arc
2
rifles.
arc rifles, and Alpha has got an arc maul and an arc pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Rangers.
Yep.
2 Transrenic Arquebuy.
Arquebuses.
Arquebuses. And the
Omnispecs.
Omnispecs.
Yep, lovely. Last troop choice.
Final troop of Vanguard, they are the same as the ones to the right, but they've got plasma calibers.
Okay, and is that a taser goad on the...
And it's a taser goad.
Yep,
on
cool.
The Alpha.
Fast?
We've got 5 Sukaran infiltrators.
Yep.
They've all got fletchet blasters and taser goads, except for the Princeps,
Yep.
who has got a power sword and a stub carbine.
Excellent.
Then in heavy support,
Yep.
we've got 3 dune crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 with the neutron laser.
Yep.
And the Cognis heavy stubbers.
Yep, is that with the extra stuff?
With the extra heavy stubbers, they've
Cool.
got 2.
Yep.
And then 1 with the Icarus array.
Marvellous, so everything's WYSIWYG there.
Yep.
And then finally...
last but not least, we've got the Night Warden.
Yep.
Whose name is the Unbroken Sentinel.
Excellent, I like
It's
it.
got the Avenger Gatling Cannon, the Storm Spear Rocket Pod.
Yep.
It's done a strike on that, and he's got the Melter Gun as well.
Excellent, and the little heavy flamer underneath, obviously.
Indeed.
Cool. So, given that this is hopefully going to be the start of a campaign,
Yes.
or a little sort of narrative storyline thing, we've decided that the Warlord gets 1, or basically just has a Warlord trait for the entirety of it. So
Yes,
for every
so
game,
it
the
doesn't
Warlord
change.
will have the same one.
Yep.
So you've got the Graya Warlord trait,
Yes, I have indeed.
which allows any unit within 6 inches to fire assault and rapid fire
Assault
weapons.
and rapid fire weapons, even if they're within 1 inch.
Lovely.
Of an enemy unit.
Okay, good stuff. I like it. So
anything that does well will probably get named. Any of the alphas.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm planning on doing as well.
Will get named.
Yep.
Probably.
Fantastic. So that is just shy of 2,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus.
Indeed.
Right, and here is just shy of 2,000 points of Word Bearers, running a battalion, a spearhead, and a vanguard detachment. So, this is the warband of Darvor the Thrice Damned, my Chaos Lord here, with Jump Pack. He has the Cursed Crozius relic, and will be running the Word Bearer's Rites of War, which, not Rites of War, Warlord trait, meaning his aura is increased by, the size of his aura is increased by 3 inches. He is joined by another Chaos Lord here, just with a power sword, and on foot. And in the battalion, we have a 5-man Chaos Space Marine unit with bolters, a second 5-man Chaos Space Marine unit with bolters, and a 10-man Chaos Space Marine unit with bolt pistol and chainsword, and the champion there has a power fist. In the Vanguard detachment, we have a Chaos Sorcerer with Jump Pack, Force Sword, Plasma Pistol, 3 individual Hellbrutes. One has Reaper Autocannon, Fist with a Heavy Flamer. One has Twin Las Cannon and Missile Launcher. And the third has Twin Las Cannon and Fist with Heavy Flamer. And there are also 8 Warp Talons in that unit. Sorry, in that detachment. And then the Spearhead detachment is led by a Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor. There is a 5-man unit of Havocs with 4 missile launchers, and there are 2 Predators with Las Cannon sponsons. And that is just shy of 2,000 points of Word Bearers. Okay, so deployment. Will deployed first, because in this mission, in this narrative thing, the defender just places down a piece of paper with a number on it, and that corresponds to a unit in his army.
Assigned, yeah.
So he's assigned that to a unit in his army. So he's placed all of his pieces of paper, ignore any models on the table for the time being.
Just because it's space.
The attacker then fully deploys, and then we reveal what Will's placed where.
Yeah.
So I'll talk you through my deployment first. We've got a 5-man unit of Chaos Space Marines on the left, Hellbrute with Las Cannon, 10-man unit of Marines, Hellbrute with autocannons, Predator, Cheap Chaos Lord, Havocs with missile launchers, Las Cannon missile launcher, Hellbrute, second Predator, second 5-man unit of Marines, and in reserve we've got Deep Striking Warp Talons, Deep Striking Chaos Lord in Sorcerer in Terminator armor, Deep Striking Chaos Lord, and Deep Striking Sorcerer in Power with Jump Pack. So that's my deployment, looking to get into the city and kill everything.
Yep.
Because that's what we're supposed to do. And Will is now going to reveal where he's placed all of his stuff. So moving around this way first of all.
Start from the top. So number one is the Rangers.
Of course it is. On top of the building.
Yep. I'll put these out. I may fiddle around with a bit.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got Rangers on
the Rangers on top of the
top.
building there. Just a decent
Can
line
they
of sight.
see my lord?
Probably not. But
I think this guy can. Just there, you can just about see him.
Oh yes.
In there, you can just see the corner of him through the door. Okay, so that's the Rangers.
Number 2 was our first onager with a neutron laser.
Okie dokie, where's number 2? No, down here.
Back here, I could have
Okay,
used that one.
yeah, that's right.
He's in there.
Fairly decent sight lines up the board there.
3 is the Icarus onager.
Okie dokie. Number 3. Oh, blimey. Okay. Right in the centre, sat on that objective. It's going to be interesting. It's a good job I go first.
Yeah, indeed.
Number 4.
4 is the Dominus, the non-HQ Dominus. That's that one.
There's that chap. He sits down there.
In there.
Lovely.
5, thank you.
That's right. 5.
5 is the Imperial Knight.
Okay.
I was tempted to put him right in the gatehouse because
Yeah,
his
that
name
would
is.
have been brilliant.
But I thought that's really bad, gameplay-wise.
Okay, number 5. Number 6.
6 is the Plasma Vanguard.
Okay, that is these guys.
Just
They're on the building there.
yeah.
Obviously, he'll do a bit of arranging
Yeah.
once we're done with this. Number 7.
7 is the destroyers.
Okie dokie.
Uh,
Down in there. Okie dokes. It's the Grav Destroyers. That's not a bad position for them.
8 is the other neutron onager.
Okay.
No.
No. So that's in there.
Oh, 10 and 8 are meant to be swapped. Sorry.
Okay.
8 is the other onager.
8 is the other onager. He goes in there.
Yep. 9 is the other unit of Vanguard.
Okay, that's these guys. They're on top of that building, I think.
Yes, indeed.
There you go.
10 is the Dominus HQ.
Okay, that's
Right,
this
he's
chap
there.
with the Volkite.
Yep.
He sits in there.
And 11.
It's an interesting place to put your Warlord.
Yeah.
And the breaches are on 11, you say?
Yes, indeed.
Okie dokes. So if we put the breaches just in there. Ah, so the breaches are in there, and then in reserve for you, you've got your
Not the
infiltrators.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So this is a pretty cool looking defensive line, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tough centre. But fortunately, I'm chucking a pretty tough centre at you.
And you're going first.
And I'm going first, so that's quite cool.
And you've got a preliminary bombardment.
And I've got a preliminary bombardment. So, right, so we'll let Will finish off all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back with pre-game explanation of what's going on and the preliminary bombardment. Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Graia-aligned Forge World of Avitius. The Word-Bearers Warband of Darvor the Thrice-Damned,
Yes.
Chaos Lord, is invading, attempting to take the planet for the forces of chaos.
Evil forces of chaos.
The correct
obviously.
forces of chaos. So they have been met on the outskirts of this once prosperous, now quite ruined city by the detachment, the war detachment, I suppose it would be, of
Proaxis Ort.
Proaxis Ort, Tech Priest Dominus of Graia. So, before the battle begins, as the forces of chaos line themselves up, ready for the advance across no man's land into the city,
Yep, the rest of the city.
the battle barges, the strike cruisers, in geosynchronous orbit above the city,
Go away?
train their lances groundward, planetward, I suppose.
Yes.
And on the roll of a 6,
So where are we starting there?
I'll work my way around you.
Cool.
On the roll of a 6, a unit takes D6 mortal wounds, I believe, from the preliminary bombardment.
D3 mortal wounds.
No, if you go to ground, it's D3.
Ah, yes, D6 mortal wounds.
Yeah, but then you can't do anything in your turn.
Wow, that's worse than I thought.
So,
Okay.
the lances, the what are they called, macro cannons,
And...
trained groundward,
Yeah.
targeting this unit to begin with. No. This onager in the middle. And it's a 1. The Tech Priest Warlord.
Yeah, please don't.
That would be hilarious. No, that's a 2. The Destroyers in the middle. No, the Knight.
No.
That's a 1, if you can't see it because of the sun. The onager behind it. That's a 4. The Tech Priest behind that. The onager in the corner. It's a 4. This is annoying.
We're not counting.
No, we'll go over this guy in a second. The Rangers in the building. There's a 2. The Vanguard. No. And the Destroyers. No.
Destroyer, sorry, yes.
So,
Wow,
they missed.
that's,
Clearly, the smoke and dust from
Yeah.
the destruction of this town, or this hive city beforehand, has ruined their targeting sensors.
That was close.
Yep. So,
That could have been bad.
Darvor the Thrice-Damned and his Word-Bearer legions are attempting to sweep into this hive city, this
these are sort
forge,
of
I
the
suppose it would be.
The outskirts and then the
Yep.
forge.
So this is the outskirts. We've got the sort of no man's landy area, the ruined buildings and all the craters. The initial line of defence here, which again forms part of no man's land. The boundary of the city formed by the fence. First line of AdMech resistance.
Yep.
With the vanguard. The vanguard over there.
Destroyers,
The destroyers tucked into that building. The breaches in the middle. One of the onagers. The warlord putting himself in a very dangerous position.
He's fine.
Sat out front.
He's comfortable.
The knight.
Yeah.
Named.
The knight is called the Unbroken Sentinel.
The Unbroken Sentinel.
Let's
Quite
see if
aptly holding the line.
Today.
Holding the centre of the line. Down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might hold. He's got a couple of las cannons pointed at him, but we shall see.
There's a lot of line of sight blocking.
There is a lot, yeah. Rangers at the back holding the high ground.
Yep.
And protecting the primary objective at the back here.
Yes.
We've got a second Dominus tucked in down there, and the last of the onagers. Somewhere in the ruins of this city lurk 5 Sicarian infiltrators.
Yes.
Hiding until the time is right.
Yeah.
And in the skies above, ready to leap from their Thunderhawk. It's a load of warp talons. We've got a Terminator sorcerer in the teleportarium on his strike cruiser waiting for the perfect time.
I know where they're going to go.
So the word bearers are trying, as we said, to take the city. The first line of defence here is worth 1 victory point for each of my units that I have in there. The second line of defence here at the back of the board is worth 2 victory points to me for each unit I have in here at the end of the game. We've also added in some additional objectives.
Yes.
We have one in there next to the quad gun, which is worth 3 points to whoever holds it at the end. One here, the ruins of the gatehouse, also worth 3 to whoever holds it at the end. And we have a final one here, this Tech Priest Engine Seer, desperately trying to enter some secret calls for help, secret information and intelligence on this word bearer force into the memory banks of this Land Raider, so that the Imperial Fists can come and assist them if needs be in the future.
Indeed.
And if this guy is alive at the end of the game, with no word bearers near him, Will gets 5 victory points. If I kill him or capture him, and by capturing him, I need to have word bearer units in base contact with him at the end of the game, I get 5 victory points. And that will also affect whether Will can bring Imperial Fists next game or not.
Exactly.
So each of these secondary primary objectives will have impacts in the future, depending on who holds them at the end.
Following campaigns, they will make a difference.
But we'll come to that at the end of the game, depending on who holds it.
Yes.
Okay, just very quickly before we start, because I know it's going to get a bit confusing later on. Quick rules addendum. So this is a narrative play mission, so we can... So narrative rules, basically you can do whatever you like, essentially. So we are going to play narrative rules for infiltrators, deep striking, stuff like that. So there's no turn restriction as to when they can come in.
No.
But we are playing the matched play rules when it comes to psychic powers. So you can only cast each psychic power once, with the exception of Smite that everyone can cast if they've got it. So don't be surprised later on if you only see me casting one of my powers once each turn. Warp time? Yeah, warp time, because I would have quite liked to have been able to cast that 4 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to let everybody know. So turn 1, word bearers.
Yes.
Darvor the Thrice Damned, leading his forces into combat. Let's do it. Alright, so battle commences.
Yeah.
The word bearers have completed their first movement. So movement phase turn 1 over for the word bearers. Marines here have just walked up forwards. Hellbrute in the centre has walked. The firebase at the back has stayed put because it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Larger Marine squad in the centre has moved up forward. Hellbrute to the left of them has just moved up. This Chaos Space Marine squad has advanced. And to their left on the edge of the battlefield, the Warp Talons and the Chaos Sorcerer with the jump pack have deep struck in here, looking for a charge into the destroyers to try and get rid of them. So we're moving into the psychic phase for the word bearers in turn 1. So what we're going to try and do is cast Warp Time on the Warp Talons.
Yep.
So this, I believe, needs a 5. And that is an 8. So they have warp time on them, which means they can move in a second. And then I'm also going to try and cast Delightful Agonies on them to give them Feel No Pain.
Very nice.
Now I can't remember what this needs, but I think it's a 7 or an 8. So that is a 9. So they have feel no pain as well. So we'll move those in a second, and then we'll get on to the shooting phase. Okay, we interrupt this just before the shooting phase.
Yeah.
The Warp Talons, in their haste to tear the destroyer's limb from mechanical limb, have triggered some mines and some booby traps and some variety of nasty proximity
Indeed.
alarm things.
Yeah.
And potentially,
Might
some
die.
of them are going to die. So Will is using a command point, essentially. Rules. So for the rules for this, Will is using the proximity mines stratagem. On a 6, a Warp Talon is slain.
Nope.
They're fine. So they're all right. So they have warp timed to just outside of an inch of the destroyers. So we'll now uninterrupt the shooting phase and go back to the shooting phase. All right. So as the incense clouds, electromagnetic chaff dispensers of the Mechanicum power into life at the beginning of the battle, the forces of chaos open up with their shooting attacks.
Quite heavy shooting.
Quite a lot of shooting attacks. Successful in parts, not successful in others. So the plasma pistol on the sorcerer over there fired at the destroyers, did nothing. Missed in the clouds of incense and smoke and dust. Marines in the middle didn't do anything. Predator here at the back fired its 2 las cannons at the hulking form of the knight over there. Couple of hits, bit of damage taken off it. 19 wounds remaining. Dreadnought in the middle, or Hellbrute in the middle rather. He moved, so I used blasphemous machines to negate the -1 to hit for heavy weapons, and he missed.
Yes, he did.
The incense and chaff of Shroud Psalm disrupting his targeting. This Hellbrute here, I don't think he did anything either. I think he failed to hit or failed to wound over in the corner. Predator at the back here fired 2 las cannons at the Onager with the Icarus array that was sat in the gatehouse on that objective in the middle. Both hit, both got through the invulnerable save and the Shroud Psalm, and did enough wounds to destroy it. Did not explode.
No, it did not explode.
And then his Predator cannon on top, targeting the breaches in the middle there, managed to kill one of them. Bolters on this squad killed one of the Vanguard that are in that corner of the gatehouse. And then the missile launch. Oh, and this Hellbrute here fired at the knife? Oh no, it was the Hellbrute that destroyed the Onager, I beg your pardon. And the 2 las cannons here did nothing against the knight, I believe it was. And the missile launchers here, deciding that the knight through the windows there was not as big a priority as the Rangers who were up on top of that building right at the back. Can you point out that dude, the sniper that's left? We're up there. So the snipers deemed to be the higher priority target because of the proximity of my sorcerer down here. The 4 Havocs with missile launchers fired frag missiles up into the corner of that building, killing off 3. Killing off 3 of the Rangers, and actually it was this Hellbrute that picked off the first one with his autocannons. So fairly decent first round of shooting. I'm not going to complain too much about that. I was happy. Getting rid of an Onager is always a good thing, and stripping a few wounds off the knight, and almost guaranteeing that they're going to run away. So, as the guns very temporarily fall silent, we'll move into the assault phase. So we'll start with the Warp Talons. They're going to charge. They're just out. You can't.
Of course.
They're just outside of an inch. So I'll roll it anyway just to see how far around they can go. 10. So we'll move the guys in here, like this. The Warp Talons made it into their target, and they're going to proceed to attempt to rip those destroyers limb from limb. And the Sorcerer is going to try and charge as well. So he needs a 9 because of where he was positioned. That is a 5 and a 2. I'm going to re-roll that using a command point. That is a 5. The Sorcerer makes it in as well. Jetpack flaring, leaping up and over the fence into the destroyers. So that's all my charges. Everything else is out of range, just preparing for future assault phases. So we'll get into that fight, we'll roll it all up, and we'll see what happens at the end. Okay, in a very efficient display of lightning claw wielding marvel, the Warp Talons and the Sorcerer ran in, or charged in rather, did 1 wound with his Force Sword, and the Warp Talons then did 7? It was 7 unsaved wounds, killing off 2 of the Cataphrons, and this guy's down to 1 wound. Will failed his Graya 6 up, ignore death thing. So we're into the morale phase now to see if these 2 units believe that discretion is the better part of valor.
Hopefully they will. So that
The Vanguard are on a 6 because there's no alpha left, and they lost 4. He is gone, and the Breachers are also a 6 or possibly a 7, but they lost 2.
They lost 2. Each 7.
Okay, so don't roll a 6.
6.
Yeah. Nope, he's fine. Because they lost 2, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Okay, so the Ranger is gone, but might come back in Will's turn. I believe it's the end of the movement, we'll get onto that. But that was a fairly successful first strike for the Word Bearers. I'm happy with that. I've taken out an Onager, I've dropped off a Breacher, and I've killed the Rangers, and I've essentially destroyed the Destroyers. And a couple of wounds off the Knight. So, Darvor, the Thrice Damned, is pretty happy up in his battle barge, waiting for the right time to strike.
Yes.
So, Pluraxis Ort, desperately sending out orders.
Slightly worried that the big Onager that was in front of him is no longer there.
Yep. Desperately streaming orders over the Noosphere.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering what he's supposed to be doing with himself now. Let's see what the forces of the AdMech, the Adeptus Mechanicus...
He might run away.
He might run away. Let's see what the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus can do to counter this advance from the Word Bearers. Okay, so Adeptus Mechanicus. Not much movement this time, trusting in the Canticles, the Shroud's Arm, to keep them safe.
Yes.
Trusting in the strength of their weaponry to repel the Chaos Space Marines of the Word Bearers. So the infiltrators have come in, crawling out from the rubble. Going to try and ping some wounds off the Predator, and to be honest, give me something to think about in my backfield.
Yeah.
Everything else has stayed where it is, with the exception of the Warlord.
Pluraxis
Ort. I might get his name right eventually. He's moved back because he was awfully exposed.
Yes.
Orders coming through the Noosphere, calling for reinforcements.
Yep.
So the unit of Rangers that was destroyed earlier has a chance to return to the battle.
On a 3+.
On a 3+ because they're troops.
And they do.
They do. So unit of Rangers coming back onto the board, anywhere within 6 inches of your board edge.
Yes, indeed.
So the first of the reinforcements are returning to the battle. They are not going to be particularly effective for a while because Transuranics can't shoot when they move. But there's potential to keep an eye on the objective over in the corner. Keep the Tech Priest Engine Seer safe while he's uploading his information and schematics into the memory banks of the Land Raider.
That was their plan all along.
Of course it was. So, were Adeptus Mechanicus spinning up Avenger Gatling cannons, charging neutron laser battery coils.
Yeah, all of the above.
Shooting. About to unleash their rage on the Word Bearers. Here we go. Okay, so targeting algorithms.
Yeah.
Blasting around through the...
Pluraxis Ort.
Yeah.
Sent across instructions to all units.
And damn what instructions they were.
They were very good instructions. He's a very capable commander.
Yes, indeed he is.
And orders were carried out with ruthless efficiency.
Ruthless efficiency, absolutely.
So we'll start over at this Onager, which could see through to the Predator.
Basically straight down the channel there.
Got 3 hits, 3 shots, 3 hits, 3 wounds.
And 16 wounds, I think, in total. Yeah, so that Predator died. Didn't explode, which was nice.
Those in conjunction with the
Torsion cannons. Yep, on the destroyers.
Fired
On the
at
breaches, rather.
the breaches, fired at the Hellboot,
Uh-huh.
which was there and took it out.
Yep, again didn't explode.
Nope, didn't explode. This Onager
Mm-hmm.
fired at the Hellboot that's through there.
Indeed.
Got 2 shots, both of them hit, but I think only 1 wounded.
Yep, only 3 damage, unfortunately.
3 damage. The Knight decided to split fire, which never normally works well.
But actually worked out alright this time.
Worked out okay. So the missile was fired at that Hellboot,
Yep.
took it down to 2 wounds left.
Yep.
The Gatling cannon opened up, spinning up ferociously,
Mm-hmm.
and fired into the Predator.
6 wounds.
Did 6
done.
wounds.
Yep. These guys stripped off the other
And
wounds.
those guys stripped off the other wound with their
Yep.
pistols.
Yeah,
As you do.
nothing from those guys.
Nothing
From the
they
Vanguard
fired
in
at the
there.
Hellboot, but didn't do anything.
So we're going to the fight phase now.
We are, indeed.
So we'll roll that.
I'll do that.
Can we just take him off? So we'll roll it up and we'll come back after that. But yeah, brutal first turn of shooting for the AdMech. Fortunately, my stuff could come back.
Yes.
So I potentially got a Dreadnought, a Hellbrute and the Predator coming back, potentially.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got a knackered Predator. Smoke and steam, sparks belching out from everywhere. Again with the Hellbrute bleeding nastiness all over the place.
Yeah.
And
luckily there's no diminishing attack for the Hellboots and Dreadnoughts. Which
I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him though.
No, that's true.
Oh no, hang on. He's got to go crazy.
That's very true.
So he's got Fire Frenzy thing. So I'll just double check what the rules are and we'll come back in a second. Alright, so no crazed results, unfortunately, because that would have been entertaining if I just blasted the Knight to death. While I was doing that, Will has rolled his attacks for the Breacher, blindly flailing his Destroyer, so blindly flailing his phosphor blaster around. Did a wound on a Warp Talon though.
Yeah. And killed one.
Feel no pain.
Feel no pain, yes indeed.
Yeah. Or Delightful Agony. No, killed one. So one is dead. It doesn't matter. Just any old one. And now my attack's back. So we'll start with the Sorcerer. Hitting on 3s. Is 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. And now I need 100,000 dice. So we've got Champion. 1, 2,
just die.
3, 4, 5, and 6 because you've just killed one. So these are all my attacks with the Lightning Claws from the Warp Talons. Oh, sorry, thank you. So these hit on 3s. That's 2 additional attacks with those 2 6s for Death to the False Emperor, which both miss, which is great. So let's get rid of the ones that missed in there.
He's probably going to die.
Now we need 5s to wound, and we get to re-roll wounds because of Lightning Claws. So there you go, that is 6 wounds.
-1?
Yes, no, -2.
He's dead.
6 up, does he die? Roll.
Yes.
Okay, he is dead. Okay, so I get to consolidate my units, which I'll do in a moment before the beginning of my turn. So finally, well, actually no, that was sort of a bit Zinchian just as planned because it meant you couldn't get away from me.
No, exactly.
Because I completely surrounded him, so he couldn't fall back out of combat. And I couldn't be shot at.
No, it was quite.
So that sort of worked out quite well.
Nice setup for you there.
Yeah. So we'll move all these guys around when we get into turn 2 for the Word Bearers. So Canticle. You need to do it at the start of each battle round.
Okay, cool. I think I might go for Benediction of the Omnis.
Okay, which is?
It's the reroll failed hit rolls of 1 for affected units in the shooting phase.
Marvellous. It's not bad.
Next shooting phase?
Yep, so that's basically anyone not within 6 inches of your characters.
Yep.
Could you do me a favour and close that blind?
Yeah.
Because as much as the light effect is awesome, it is very bright down the side of the screen. Alright, I'll come and do it. There we go, that's better, that's fine. Just there, that's fine. Okay, so, Word Bearers turn 2 coming up. Okay, the assault moves forward.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Hellbrute that's turned around.
He's going the wrong way.
He's going for the closest target, which is these guys.
A bit crazy.
He has gone a little bit crazy, you're absolutely right. Predator hasn't moved. Basically nothing around here has moved because they're staying within the 6-inch bubble of shouting from the Chaos Lord. Moved forwards with the Chaos Marines advancing slowly up the board. Going to try and kill some Vanguard. Sorry. moving up the board, not advancing.
Yes, yeah.
Moving up the board in the centre with those Marines there, breaking through the building, getting in range, and unfortunately they're now in line of sight of everything because they were completely blocked beforehand. And the small squad on the left has claimed this objective. The Warp Talons and the Sorcerer have jumped up onto the building up here, ready to hopefully warp time either down here somewhere to take out the Rangers, or potentially over there to tie up an Onager in the middle, maybe?
Yep.
The Chaos Lord, Darvor the Thrice Damned, has dropped in at the back here. Pretty brave place to land, given that there's an Onager right there, an Onager right there, a Knight there, and the Rangers here, but I have a plan, you see.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that I can end up with him not being the closest to you. And the Sorcerer Lord, the Sorcerer in Terminator armor has dropped in here. Again, I have a plan. Whether it will work or not, it's a different question entirely. We shall see. So, at the end of this section, reinforcements, call for reinforcements coming over the box.
Yep.
Purple dice is the Predator.
Okay.
Red dice is the Hellbrute. Fives.
Yep.
Hellbrute is back. Okay, so the Hellbrute will move on 6 inches from my board edge and outside of 9 inches of those infiltrators. And then we'll move into the Psychic phase shortly after that. Using the 2 command point stratagem Forced March, which is unique to this narrative game, the Hellbrute has appeared here.
Somehow
right
out of the
right in the backfield. Right in the backfield, ready to cause a bit of carnage and generally be a nuisance. Psychic phase happened. Sorcerer down here failed to cast Death Hex to strip him of his invulnerable save, but then managed to smite him for a couple of wounds. Warp time cast on the Warp Talons, so they've jumped off the building down here, ready to cause a nuisance of themselves in the middle, and then Delightful Agony is cast on them as well to give them Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the Psychic phase, so we'll move into the shooting and see what we can do. So, yes, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe take off a couple more units, but then Will can just bring them all back again.
Oh, exactly. It'll be fine.
And yes, so bolters, las cannons, autocannons, missile launchers. Right, so shooting, turn 2. I think the word bearers are getting a little bit confused. Hellbrutes certainly are not doing very well. Clearly their targeting systems have been damaged, whether it's by previous interference from the noosphere, potentially just damage from previous strikes, basically. So this guy fired his heavy flamer at the infiltrators that popped up at the back, did nothing. Las cannons fired at the Knight. I believe they both missed. 4 crack missiles fired at the Knight. Only one of them actually managing to penetrate the invulnerable, the ion shield, and then just exploding harmlessly against the carapace. Hellbrute down here fired its 2 las cannons and the missile launcher again at the Knight, and all deflected by the ion shield, or going just wild with the dust and the smoke. Bolters opening up on the Vanguard. Again, clearly the fence is confusing them. Unfortunately, no damage done. Bolt pistols in the centre from the squad down here, firing at the destroyers, breachers rather. No damage done. Hellbrute at the back here fired its autocannons through at the Onager, stripped off a couple of wounds, which was nice. And then Demon Shell used a stratagem from the Chaos Lord's bolt pistol, killing 2 of the Rangers at the back here. And the Sorcerer threw a frag grenade at the Vanguard in the building. No damage, unfortunately, ricocheting off the wall. And the squad of Marines in that building there killed one of the Vanguard. The 2 las cannons on the Predator stripped 5 more wounds, I believe, off the Knight. So he's down to 14. And the autocannons on the Predator failing to do any wounds on the Vanguard in the centre. So it's now the assault phase, or it's the charge phase rather. So I am charging with my Warp Talons your onager, and your second in command.
Okay, cool.
So you have some Overwatch to do.
Indeed I do. So what's the one? I've just got the neutral agent to.
Yep, and the other charge I'm going to attempt is my Chaos Lord into your Rangers. So we'll work out all the Overwatch and we'll come back in a second. Right, so Overwatch from the Onager here. Yep. So Will has rolled up 3 shots, unfortunately, for the neutron laser. 6s. There's 2. 2. 2's to wound.
2 wounds.
Okay, 5 up at demon save. There's 1 and feel no pain. Nope. So 1 gets shot down on the charge in. 2 Cognitus heavy stubbers. Doesn't matter. It's still 6s.
Okay.
There's 1. Strength 4.
Do you get to reroll ones, or is that only
No,
the shooting?
that's only a shooting phase.
Cool.
Strength 4. Toughness 4.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Then
the Dominus tucked in here. D3 shots for the eradication ray. We'll roll the 2.
Nothing.
Nope. And 5 shots from the macro stubber. 1 hit.
2 hits.
Strength 4.
Strength 4, so 4s.
2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. Both saved. So charge range, I'm just outside of an inch of both of them. So we've got a 6. So we'll put 3 into... no, we'll put 2 into the Tech Priest. The remaining 4 into the Onager there.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. We then have a charge down here.
Oh yes.
My Lord is going to attempt to charge your Rangers. And actually, I might attempt to charge with the Hellbrute as well. So I need a 10 for the Hellbrute to get in. So I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to charge the Hellbrute first.
Okay, so the 2...
Yep.
Blah, 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 blahs.
Transuranics.
Miss.
No hits. 1 Galvanic Rifle. Half range, so rapid fire.
Nothing.
Okay, so Hellbrute needs a 10.
Wow.
Bam! And the Chaos Lord needs a 9. Gets a 12.
Not
okay,
bad.
so he's going to go in there. Like that. Not bad at all. So we'll roll up these combats and come back to you at the end of the fight phase. There is one more charge I was going to make as well. Is my Chaos Sorcerer down here. Going into the Warlord is the attempt.
Okay, so the Volkite.
Volkite Blaster is heavy D3, I believe.
Volkite Blaster is just heavy 3.
Oh, beg your pardon, heavy 3. Here we go.
Nothing.
Nope. And the Phosphor Serpenta.
1. Nope.
Okay, and that's a 9.
Yep.
Because of deep striking in earlier. Oh. Reroll that with a command point.
Okay.
2. Okay, so the Sorcerer doesn't make it in. But we've got 2 big combats to do, and we'll roll them up and come back in a moment. Alright, so that was quite a successful assault phase. Sort of.
Well.
So these guys charged in.
Yep.
The Chaos Lord just destroyed that unit of Rangers completely, and then they've both consolidated around a bit. So the Hellbrute offering a bit of protection there for the Lord.
Yep.
Darvor, thrice damned.
I think.
And the unit of Warp Talons that charged in here, no wounds on the Dominus, but no wounds back, which is nice. And then 3 wounds on the Onager, which was quite nice, and no wounds back. So, that's the end of Wordbearer's turn 2. So we're going into Adeptus Mechanicus turn 2. Will's got a few units that could potentially come back on and ruin my day, but we will see what happens. So, it seems like in the opening stages, I suppose it still is realistically, over this battle.
It's starting to overrun the...
I was going to charge there as well. Damn it. It's too late now. The opening stages of the battle, you know, turns 1 and 2. The Wordbearers, I think, are taking control of the battlefield.
Lines of the AdMech.
Well, yeah, the front line has effectively been completely bypassed, with all of the units deep striking in the backfield. Sorcerer down here. We've got the Warp Talons and the Sorcerer, the Lord and the Hellbrute. Not much remaining in your first line of... In fact, not much remaining in either of your lines of defence, really. We've got 4 Vanguard still holding the gatehouse valiantly. 2 Breachers holding the centre. The Vanguard in the top of the building, hoping for some targets eventually. The Knight still holding the line.
Yeah, he's still standing there.
Not sure what he's going to be doing next turn. Probably running in and stomping on some warp talons.
Possibly the plan, yeah.
Onager stuck in combat. Onager at the back here lost a couple of wounds. Oh, and the infiltrators, of course.
Yeah, they might do something.
Being sneaky around this side. So I wouldn't be overly surprised if they charged this predator, probably.
Yeah.
Just to tie it up for a little while, I would imagine. So yes, we will move into Adeptus Mechanicus turn 2. Those calls for reinforcement and are getting ever more desperate, aren't they?
Indeed.
As desperate as a robot can sound, anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't sound that worried yet.
No?
What's his name?
Old Pleraxis.
Old Pleraxis Orch.
Yeah.
Still...
Even though his second in command's in combat.
He's fine. He's fine.
Okay, we'll see. Turn 2 AdMech coming up. Okay, so the time has come. Pleraxis Ort has decided it's time to strike back.
Yep.
The counter-offensive begins.
It's all part of his plan.
It is very much so. So Pleraxis has moved around, so he's closer to the warp talons, potentially to charge in when it comes to the combat phase.
Yep.
The Unbroken Sentinel.
The Unbroken Sentinel.
Is that his name?
The Unbroken Sentinel.
The Unbroken Sentinel,
maintaining
position in the centre of the board, or centre of the battlefield. Decent arcs of fire.
Yep.
And is a right pain for the word bearers to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
The breachers in the middle have moved up.
Get in range of the hull boot.
Yep. And potentially then charge those Chaos Marines in the middle. Yep. And the infiltrators have moved around, getting in range of the Havocs and potentially charging the Predator, depending on what else happens at the back.
Yes.
And the two, so the combat remains in the middle.
Yep,
Nobody's falling back.
Falling back.
And this guy here.
Dude in there has just moved out because he was out of line of sight.
Okie dokie.
Of everything.
And the Onager at the back.
His gun is training down.
Probably going to try and shoot the sorcerer. Right, so more calls for reinforcements.
Yep.
We have a unit of Rangers.
Got the unit of Rangers.
And we return to the battlefield on a 3+.
Which they do.
As a 6, the Rangers have returned. The Destroyers.
The Destroyers.
This is the one you really want, isn't it?
Yes, I might do that one last.
Okay, so
the Onager
with Icarus array.
We've decided
5+.
Twice.
Yes, because we forgot it in the last
turn.
turn.
So Matt was very kind enough to let me do that. So on a 5+. It does.
Okay, Joy and the Breachers, the Destroyers.
Destroyers come back on a 3+.
Because they're troops.
And they do.
And they say everything returns. So the Adeptus Mechanicus force is back up to its full starting strength with the exception of an odd model here or there. But all units have returned to the board. So this is going to be an entertaining shooting phase, to say the least.
Very.
Yeah, it's appearing like the...
The thing about this game is it's very much ebbing and flowing because everyone gets an advantage.
Yeah, very much so.
The Chaos looked like they were breaking through, but the calls for reinforcement have been answered.
Yep. And Pleraxis Ort might still yet win the day.
Yes, indeed.
We shall see. We'll come up with shooting phase AdMech turn 2 in a moment. So the counter-assault by Pleraxis Ort was pretty substantial. That was very, very effective. We'll start over this side and we'll work our way back.
Reinforcements came
the reinforcing Grav Destroyers destroyed the Hellbrute, which exploded. Put a wound on my Chaos Lord and a wound on the Tech Priest engine. Poor little guy.
The data.
Icarus Onager here, firing down the channel. Can see my Marines over in the bunker, a little bit over there, killed 2. Neutron laser.
Aimed down and
killed the Sorcerer Lord. Sorcerer.
Only just.
Excuse me.
He tanked 2.
We still then got 2.
No, but in terms of the actual neutron laser.
Oh yeah, 3 shots.
3 shots. He took 2 of them to the chest.
Wounded with all 3. Saved 2 on the invulnerable save, and the last one did 5 wounds, which is all he needed to kill him. These guys fired the plasma. At these guys killed 1, and the 2 radium carbines over here and didn't do anything.
Nope.
2 torsion cannons destroyed the Hellbrute. The Vanguard up here
shot at these guys.
Killed one of these Chaos Marines.
Yep.
These guys fired at the Havocs, killed 3. The Knight fired its missiles through the windows, put 2 wounds on the Hellbrute. And the Avenger Cannon destroyed the Predator. So that turn was brutal.
It was incredibly effective.
So Will's just leapt into the lead points-wise.
Yeah.
And actually I think I'm still winning.
Yeah, because I haven't claimed... Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, the objectives are going to make a big difference.
Yep. But anyway, we also just scored a ton of points, so I've got to actually make sure I score a load of objectives.
And hope that stuff comes back.
And hope this stuff comes back, because so far he's just killed a load of stuff that's coming back on 5s instead of 3s, which is annoying.
In terms of, I've lost 3 models.
Yeah.
You know, if we
are
counting stuff that
exactly. So we've got the assault phase now.
Yep.
What are you doing?
They're going to go into those Marines.
Okay, I've got 10 guys there with pistols.
Yep.
4. 10. So let's do this. 10 bolt pistols. 2 hits. 5s to wound. No wounds. That's a 3 and a 2.
Well,
Yep, just outside of an inch.
I'm in.
Yep. Any more for any more?
My Lord.
Yep.
And probably the Knight are both just going to charge into.
Okay.
I think because I should finish them off with that. So.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Yep. So the Knight is going to charge in.
He's in.
No, he's going to moonwalk.
And the Warlord is in as well because you can't fail it even with a double one. Okay, infiltrators. They're doing anything special?
I think the way you've taken the missile launchers away.
There's a Lord there.
There is a Lord who is 8-inch. 8-inch charge away.
Yep.
What's he got weapon wise?
Bolt pistol, power sword.
I may as well try it.
Bolt pistol. Nope. That's a 1.
So the charge is in.
3 and a 6. That is a 9. Infiltrators make it in.
So they will charge in.
It's irritating.
I wasn't going to do it until you told me to.
No. That's fine. Hey, you're defending your city. It's bound to be aggressive.
I am very aggressive. I'm just going to go there.
Okay, so we've done all the Overwatch. We're going to do the fights now, and we will come back once we've done them. Okay, so the counter-offensive, it becomes even more effective.
Yes, indeed.
So the infiltrators down here charged in and killed the Chaos Lord before he had a chance to swing back.
Yeah.
Moving round, the breachers in the middle did no damage,
do much.
but I did 2 wounds back.
Yes.
And then down here, the Knight stomped all over the Warp Talons, killed 6.
Yeah.
Dominus didn't do anything, and I didn't do anything to the Dominus. So we've got a couple of morale tests to make. Warp Talons here. I need a 1, and even then I'm not convinced. Because no, I only lost 6 this turn, didn't it? So yeah, I probably need a 1. Need to find out what their leadership is, but they rolled a 2. So we'll check them in a second. We've got leadership 8 on these guys down here. They lost 3 guys.
Unfortunate.
He runs away.
Yeah.
They didn't lose anybody in the middle.
Nope.
They lost 1, but it's not enough.
Yep.
And they lost 3 here. Leadership 7 this time. -1 because of infiltrators. So I'm going to count that as a 5, which means I lose 1 more.
Yep.
Swine. Okay, so
blame Caraxis.
yeah, let me check what the Warp Talon leadership is.
Caraxis is like plans coming together, guys.
I love it when a plan comes together. Their leadership 8.
Okay.
So he is sticking around. Damn it. Very irritating. So, calls for word bearers reinforcements. Yeah. Getting incredibly desperate now. I've got 3 models down here.
Also, I don't know if we mentioned it, but it's worth mentioning that as per the rules of the campaign that we agreed, no Lords of War or HQs return.
Yes.
So the Sorcerer that I killed and the Lord I killed are unfortunately...
Yep, they're gone. So we've got a Chaos Lord down here who's taken a wound. We've got a Warp Talon in the middle of the champion. We've got my Sorcerer up top. 1 Chaos Space Marine champion left on his own here. 10 Marines in the middle, which is, alright. A knackered Hellbrute, belching smoke and blood on guts and ichor and all over the place. 1 Missile Launcher Havoc, or rather 1 Havoc with a Missile Launcher.
Yep.
And 4 Chaos Space Marines over there.
Yeah.
So we'll get into Word Bearer's turn 3, see if I can do something useful. Yeah. Probably not, but we'll see what happens. And then hopefully we'll be able to call in some reinforcements towards the end of that phase. So Word Bearer's turn 3 coming up. Okay. This assault on the Forge world of Avitius is getting very desperate.
Start off your initial
Initial gains.
But I think you're starting to stumble.
Definitely starting to stumble, yes, very much so. So, Firebase, what's left of it, remained stationary at the back to try and get some useful shots off. Combat in the middle. Squad over there holding on to that objective, because objectives are important, especially that one for future games. Remaining champion advanced, maybe hoping to get himself killed. Yeah, maybe hoping to cause enough of a problem for these Vanguard that he can potentially go and steal that objective later on. Round here, deep in the backfield, the Warp Talon has remained in combat with the Dominus. The Chaos Lord has jumped up. He spies a tasty prize in the shape of Pluraxis Ort. If I can take his head, I'll be happy, even if I end up losing this battle. And the Sorcerer has jumped down to kill this Tech Priest, stop him from uploading all that intelligence and bringing in the Imperial Fists in the future. So, reinforcements. Desperately needed. We have 2 Predators. A Hellbrute with a Reaper autocannon. And a Hellbrute with twin las cannon. Okay. So the Hellbrute with the autocannons is joining the battle, which is cool.
Yes.
It'll probably be helpful, I suppose. Need to work out where to put him. So he will be on the board shortly, and we will see what happens. I'm going to use a command point to force march him.
Yep.
I think, because I want him in that corner.
Yep.
Just to be more of a pain.
Yep.
So he will be on, and then we'll get into the Psychic Phase, and we'll be back in a moment. Alright, so Psychic Phase, turn 3 for the Word Bearers. It did what I needed it to, but it cost me a command point to do it, which was annoying. It was very frustrating. Yes, there was. The Sorcerer casts Smite at the objective, the Tech Priest engines down here, stripping off 2 wounds after using a reroll. And then cast Warp Time on the Dreadnought. I've got a horrible feeling I might not have been able to do that. I'm just wondering if it might have, say, infantry only. No, it's alright, is it? Okay, cool. So Warp Time on the Hellbrute. So he's now got a 6-inch charge into the Destroyers, which is risky because that's 15 grav cannon shots on Overwatch. But we shall see. So we've got Shooting Phase now. There's only a couple of things. Oh, I've got bolt pistols in combat.
Yep.
I've got what's left of the Firebase at the back, some bolters, Hellbrute and a plasma pistol, and potentially... Oh, I've just used my no demon shells. Damn. Okay, so we'll come back at the end of shooting. Alright, so
for a reason.
The Chaos Gods have forsaken me. Dora the Explorer, what's his name? Dalvor the Thrice Damned, something like that. Something like that. Darvor the Thrice Damned has been damned some more. Yeah. A large number of shots going astray, getting saved by ion shields, armor saves, just really not doing very well. Failed to wound this guy with a plasma pistol at 1.5 inches range. Failed to wound him with a heavy flamer. Failed to do any damage with a Reaper autocannon at the Destroyers. Failed to do any damage with a crack grenade at the Warlord. That guy advanced, so he can't shoot. Oh, I didn't do pistols, actually. I'll do them in a second. Missile launcher. Failed to do anything to the Knight. Hellbrute, 2 las cannons, snuck through the window. Penetrated the ion shield. Did...
No, the missile launcher did 5 wounds, and then the las cannons took him down to 1.
Yes, missile launcher did 5 wounds, took him down to 10, and then the 2 las cannons did 9. This Knight has 1 wound left. The Unbroken Sentinel...
He's living up to his name.
Stands unbroken. So in a desperate bid to take him down, I fired 2 bolters from this squad here that can just see his hand, his Thunderfist Gauntlet over there, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, just waving at them, taunting them, and it unsurprisingly didn't do any damage at all. And then the remaining 2 bolters fired at the Vanguard in the building here and did nothing. So I'm going to very quickly do 10 bolt pistols at your breaches.
Yep.
4, 6, 8, 10. So I hit on 3s. It's alright, I suppose. Half hits. Wound on 5s. There's 3 wounds. Yeah.
3 up saves.
Yep. 2 wounds go through. 6s.
Yeah, because
the Gryer Forge World thing. On a roll of 6, he does not die. That's a 5. He did.
He's dead, and he's down to 2.
Yes, correct. So we'll get into combat now. We've got 3 charges to declare. The Hellbrute, if you'd like to come and do some Overwatch.
I really would.
In fact, do this Overwatch first. He has a las pistol.
Okie doke.
My lord. My sorcerer is going into that guy. So that is a 4-inch charge. He is in. Bam. Okay. The Hellbrute is charging the destroyers.
15
you
grav
have
shots.
15 heavy grav cannon shots. That's 1, 2, 3 that I see at least. 4.
4.
Okay. You are wounding on 5s. Because you are strength 5. I'm toughness 7. 1. I have a 6+ save. Nope. And D3 damage.
1.
1 damage. Okay, I'll grab a dice in a minute. And it's a 6-inch charge.
3.
That is a 6 and a 2. So he is in. Oh, 3 Phosphor Serpentas. But you can't destroy him.
No. That's what I wasn't worried about.
Yeah. Okay, so he is in. 3 Phosphor Serpentas. They are rapid fire, I believe.
They are, so 6 shots.
Yeah.
Hitting on 6s.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So you only did 1 wound to him, didn't you? So he's down to 7. And then your Warlord versus my Warlord.
Indeed.
So you have you have 3 shots from the Volkite Charger.
Yes.
It was a wonderful roll. Nope.
No.
And a Phosphor Serpenta. It's assault 1, I believe.
Yes.
Nope. So I need probably, what, 3 or 4, I think?
Yeah.
That's a 7. He's in.
That will be enough.
Blam. Okie dokie. So, we'll do some fights and we'll come back. In fact, let's roll some fights.
Yes.
I think let's do that.
Good idea.
So we'll start with the Sorcerer.
Yep, because that's an important one.
It is. Get me some victory points. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s.
Please fluff.
Wounding on...
Toughness 4.
Priest Engine Seer is toughness 4. Wounding on 4s. There's a wound, -3.
He's got a 3 up save.
But he
so
probably has invulnerable as well.
6 up invulnerable.
Okay, so 6 up invulnerable. If you make this, I'm going to cry. That is a 2 over there. And D3 wounds because it's a 4 sword 3. He is dead. And I'm going to consolidate this way.
Can I leave him?
Yeah, you can. Because I need to come back and claim his brain fleshy bits at the end of the game.
He managed to repair it just enough.
No, he didn't.
So that the last cannons and the heavy bolts were working.
I don't think he did. Hellbrute?
Yep.
I need to work out how many attacks a Hellbrute has.
4.
Probably. He's got Hellbrute Fist, which doesn't have a -1,
Ooh,
I believe. Which is fairly tasty.
Good for him.
Hellbrute does indeed have 4 attacks. He is strength 12, so he will be doubling you out, and he hits on 3s. So, Hellbrute, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s but it doesn't matter. So 3 hits, 2s. That is 2 wounds.
And he saves
-2 probably, maybe -3. Hellbrute Fist -3. So 6 up.
No, they've got 4.
Yeah, invulnerable save.
Oh, of course.
Okay. And it does 3 damage apiece. So that is 2 dead, but you got 6 up Gryer save. That's 2 dead.
2 dead.
And then your 2 attacks back.
Hitting on 3.
Oh no,
No, of course you still got attacks to do that.
Yep. My lord.
Yep.
That's 5 attacks. Hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Seems a bit unfair.
Yeah, a little bit. That's 4 hits, re-rolling 1s. That's 5 hits. He is strength 6, so he's winning on 3s. That is 3 wounds. I think it's -2 for the Cursed Crozius. I believe is -2. Yep, -2. Oh, hang on a sec. You can re-roll all failed wound rolls when fighting an Imperium unit.
Go for it.
So I've got 2 re-rolls, because I hit with all of them, didn't I?
You did.
So 2 re-rolls, needing 3s. There you go, 4 wounds.
I've got a 4 up save.
Yes.
which I make all but 1.
So that's 3 damage.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it?
So he's down to 2 wounds.
Yep, that's annoying. Could have finished him off.
You could have done.
And then we've got the Warp Talon
Yep.
in the middle. No, let's do this combat over here first.
Okay.
So we'll do 2 attacks from the Power Fist champion. Hitting on 4s.
Good start.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, because they've all got chain swords. So that is 18 attacks from those 9 guys. Yeah, I might need you to. If you don't mind, if you would be so kind. Thank you all. Oh, let's find a bit of space. 6s generate additional, so we'll take out the missed ones first of all. Is there, and then we've got 2 2 6s for additional attacks. It's 2 extra hits, which is nice. Now we're looking for 5s. Too many dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds. 3 up save.
Saves coming up.
Yep, all done. Okay, so you get to choose a unit to attack back with.
I am going to. I suppose it doesn't really matter.
No.
So might as well start here.
Okay, 2 attacks.
3 attacks.
3 attacks for a breacher, you're quite right. 3 hits.
3 hits. 3s to wound.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Yes, yeah, 3s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
-1, isn't it?
It was -1, 1 damage, I think, yeah.
That's 1 dead because I rolled a 3 in there. Okay, just any old dude will be fine. Thank you all. And then it's my Warp Talon.
Yep.
So we'll come back over to this side of the table.
Oh, I forgot your Warp Talon. Gone.
Warp Talon, 2 attacks. Hitting on 3s. It's a 3 and a 6. Wounding on 4s. No, 5s.
Yeah.
You took us 5?
Dominus is 5. No, 4.
Wounding on 4s with a reroll because of Lightning Claws. Fortunately. 3 and a 1. 1 wound. At -2.
That's 4.
So it is. So he's fine. Then it's your attacks back. So you got your 2 attacks from Dominus.
Yep.
1 hit.
Don't know why I looked that up.
Strength 5, I believe. Oh, 6. Nope, no wounds. Lord. Or Warlord, rather.
He's. Dominus has got 3 attacks.
Oh, beg your pardon. So one more
One more
attack
attack for him. He's a hit.
He's a hit. No wound.
No.
Nope, no, strength 8.
And then
Pluraxis Ort.
Pluraxis Ort is nails, and he's going to show him how it's done.
Nah.
So.
It's 3 hits.
3 hits.
3s.
X is +1, isn't it? Yeah. So 3s. For 2 wounds.
Okay, -2.
And -2. 2 damage.
So 4 up. Invulnerable save. 2 damage. There we go.
And then the. What's the food?
Yep.
For.
Misses both.
No hits.
Marvellous. Okay, so that's the end of Wordbearer's turn 3. Struck back relatively well, I think. I'm mostly happy by that. I'm very glad I've taken out that objective.
Yep, that's made a big difference.
Yes, it has points-wise. We'll have to note that down in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly irritated that I didn't kill that guy in the middle.
Yep.
But it means I can't get shot at unless you fall back, which is nice. Those guys over there are screwed, so I'm just leaving them and hoping they... You know, we'll see what happens. And Lord just about holding his own.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
In the middle. Both down to 2 wounds.
I'll be getting wounds back.
You're getting blah 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 blah. So I don't think there's anything for you to come back this time, is there?
Nope, nothing for me to return.
Okay. So now it's getting desperate.
Yes.
Because you're stuck in cold. Because your warlord, Pluraxis Ort,
Sorry, you can fall back.
is stuck in combat. So he's starting to get a little bit concerned. You've still got a lot of stuff.
He's still, you know, throwing out orders and trying to take control, but yeah, he's having to focus a bit more on the here and now.
Trying to stay alive.
Trying to stay alive, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Excellent.
savage Chaos Lord that's furiously
Having a...
swinging his craziest aim.
Yes, indeed. So, AdMech, turn 3 coming up. Right, so seems to be sort of a consolidating, mopping up action, really, now. I'm going to have to talk, because unfortunately Will's just put some Cadbury's fingers in his mouth.
Cyrus is eating.
Yeah. We'll just put some chocolate fingers in his mouth, so he's going to have to step out, because we've... Okay, cool. So the infiltrators are moving back towards their lines now, hunting down this squad in the building. Shoot back at the Havoc. Yeah. In order to reclaim control, or to maintain control of the gatehouse, the squad of Vanguard here have dropped back down a level, with the exception of one guy, one plasma gunner, who can see that aspiring champion. Combat continues in the centre of the board. No movement down here in the new firebase that's been established.
No.
The one remaining destroyer has fallen back from combat, leaving this Hellbrute sorely...
in a bit of trouble.
Sorely exposed. It's 2 onagers that can shoot it, 3 onagers that can see it, actually. Yeah. But and the snipers over here have beautiful shot in at the sorcerer if they want it.
Yeah.
But he's served his purpose. He's cast all the powers he needed, and he has taken the objective for us at the end. The Lord, or my Chaos Lord rather, is again very exposed.
Yeah.
As Pluraxis has fallen back from combat, and combat continues in the centre. And the Vanguard here haven't done anything, and they're just going to shoot at the squad that's in that building there. So we'll get on to shooting now, and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so the sun has set, unfortunately, both in real life and on Avitius. The word bearers. Oh, there's a combat to do, but we won't do it. The word bearer's assault has been well and truly repelled.
You have the excellent defensive tactics of Pluraxis Ort.
And the luck of all of your army coming back.
And the luck of having a load of reinforcements.
Yes, indeed.
Just here.
Yeah. So the Hellbrute here got taken down to 2 wounds remaining, a combination of fire from the 2 onagers here, and the 3 galvanic rifles from there. The 2 snipers, transuranic arquebuses, tried to shoot the sorcerer but didn't do anything.
Nope.
2 heavy stubbers from the neutron onager stripped 3 wounds off the off my lord, Dorvar. I always forget his name. The thrice cursed.
The thrice cursed.
That's fine. Just the thrice cursed.
Darvor,
the thrice cursed. I don't know why I keep calling him Dorvar. The knight firing through the windows of this building killed the Hellbrute at the back.
Yep.
A pistol from the tech priest killed the warp talon.
Yep.
Moving round, the plasma killed the aspiring champion.
Yep.
The veterans in that, the Vanguard in that building killed one of my Chaos Marines over there, and these guys failed to kill the Havoc. Split their fire to try and take out both units, but didn't manage to. So, discretion being the better part of valour, and because we need to live to fight another day and take the city next time, launching his jump pack, triggering it off,
escapes.
Up
Calls
to
a retreat.
Calls a retreat indeed. So, I don't know what the victory points were. It doesn't matter because I'm running away.
Yep.
However, you do not get Marine reinforcements in the next game.
No, I don't get them. I don't get the Imperial Fist reinforcements.
That's all that matters.
Huge, and you.
I do hold that, but I'm running away. So
Yeah.
We'll have to work out what we do with that.
You could, in theory, taking the guns. At least.
Potentially, yeah. But you're definitely holding the gate at the end of the game.
Yes.
So the forces of the Mechanicum.
Yep.
Stand.
The unbroken sentinel.
The unbroken sentinel.
The entire game. Just
no, and he probably can't move anymore because he's so damaged.
Yeah.
Belching smoke, dripping oil,
but still firing.
Still unbroken, which is pretty impressive, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the question now becomes, what happens in the next game?
Yes.
So we've come up with 2 possible options, depending on what happens. So, either the forces of Darvor regroup out in the fields and the hills and the mountains over there somewhere and attempt to retake the gates.
Yep.
Or a decapitation strike is launched to take out Pleraxis Ort and his senior command. Now we're going to leave this to Will to determine which one happens. And so on a 1, 2, or I'll tell you what, a 1, a 3, or a 5, we are attempting to break through the lines and take the gate, and then potentially progress on into the city in a future mission. On a 2, a 4, or a 6, it's a smaller game, decapitation strike, and Darvor attempts to kill Pleraxis Ort.
I know what I'm hoping.
I know what I'm hoping for as well. I wonder if it's going to be the same. We'll tell each other at the end. So Will is going to determine what we're playing in the next game. That is a 5. So, that's not what I wanted either. So, the forces of the Word Bearers, the Warband, Darvor the Thrice Cursed, and potentially even quadruple cursed.
Yes, exactly.
Depending on how the Chaos Gods look at him after this failure of an assault, will be attacking the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, after falling back.
After falling back into the hills and the mountains and replenishing their supplies.
Yeah.
Bringing in some big guns.
Yes, exactly.
Because we've had a little bit of a discussion about this as well. So the next list is going to be entertaining, actually, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And yeah, so next game will be good fun.
Yes, because I think in the next game is going to be slightly more of a heavily...
Yeah, so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take this centre line of wall and we're going to move it 12 to 18 inches towards what was the AdMech city.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be a heavily built up quarter of the board with the wall, then a slightly more maybe terrainy or maybe barricadey section, and then a much clearer section on the end where the Word Bearers will be sweeping in and attempting to take the gate.
Yeah.
So
it should be good.
Darvor failed.
Darvor did fail.
Word Bearers disappointing. Chaos Gods are not happy.
No, certainly not.
So what I might have to do is I might have to roll on the Chaos Boon table for Darvor in his failure.
Yeah.
And depending on any of the rolls that give +1 strength or +1 weapon skill or whatever they may be, subtract 1 from his stat line for the next game.
Yep.
To see if he can then reclaim the favour of the gods.
Yep. I think Matt agrees. I think it might be a good idea is to do some sort of, have the named characters and do some sort of progression with them.
I agree, yeah. So in fact, I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that now. So just move this forwards a little bit. And let's find the Chaos Boon chart here.
Changed,
it has. So we roll 2d6. Any of these options here, so move characteristic.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so +1 to the strength, +1 attacks. These things will end up being minuses. And we'll see what happens. So if it turns out to be one of these other options, we'll come up with something else. Yep. So that is a 10. +1 toughness. So for the next game, this crystalline body. What can we say is crystalline? Or the opposite of crystalline?
Glass.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, crystal doesn't have to be tough, does it?
That's true.
So, Darvor...
Play-Doh body.
Play-Doh body. Darvor the quadruply cursed will be suffering from the effects of the displeasure... That hasn't worked very well. The displeasure of Nurgle, I suppose?
Yeah, Nurgle's...
And will be toughness 3 for the duration of the next game.
Be able to regain the favour if he does well.
He could potentially regain a favour if the next battle goes well, and we manage to take the great gates of this great city.
Yeah, I think this attack, his forces were landing, getting ready for a big assault, squadron of tanks and video, but he just took what he had on hand, maybe jumped in a little bit too soon before he'd really built up. A bit like
Ferrus Manus at Istvan 5.
Yeah, maybe if he'd waited a little bit longer, but now he's taken the chance to fall back.
Indeed he has.
Drawing Mechanicum out of their lines,
Yep.
Pleraxis now full of confidence that he's won the battle.
He's a bit cocky. However, the Unbroken Sentinel standing firm. I'm sure he'll be returning for the next battle.
But perhaps not full wounds.
Oh no, I think he'll be repaired. I think the AdMech will have brought in. It's an AdMech world.
This is true.
I think they'll have enough supplies to replenish everything that they've lost. I think that's fine. So, defeat for the word bearers. Victory for the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Mm-hmm. I'm quite happy with that.
Right, so narrative bit over. I know we've sort of strayed a bit from that during the course of the explanations of the turns and things, but it's actually very difficult to narratively explain what's going on each turn. I had great fun.
Yeah, it was very good game.
That was really good. There were a number of times when I was convinced you were done for, and it was going to be word bearers romping home to victory without any issues at all.
Absolutely.
And then, in turns 2 and 3, you got the entirety of your army back.
Yeah.
So, you lost 2 breaches, 2 destroyers, and 2 vanguard.
Yes.
Ultimately, at the end of that battle.
Yeah.
And I lost everything else.
Well, I think, although the idea of having the reinforcements was great,
yes.
It was...
Yes, I mean, the actual rules for this scenario are the attacker gets to roll to bring his units back.
Yeah, the defender
at the end of each of his movement phases. The defender doesn't get that at all. And while that's fine, and it's reasonable because of the distance that the attacker has to cover, we figured that given that this was an Adeptus Mechanicus world, there would probably be a number of Skitari units
coming up to reinforce.
Exactly, and obviously Mr. Ort there can make whatever calls for reinforcements that he needs. So I think it's fine, ultimately. I still could have won if the game had continued.
Yeah.
Potentially I would have got my 2 Predators back, my 3 Hellbrutes, or my 2 Hellbrutes could have come back.
Exactly.
Warp Talons, in fact, could have come back as well. And if we actually added it up points-wise...
Yeah, you were probably still...
I was on 8.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you were on.
7 without...
8 for this guy.
8.
So it would have been a draw, ultimately. 9, because you killed the Hellbrute.
9.
Okay, so you did win. But either way, discretion being the better part of valour, Darvor, the now quadruply damned, made of Play-Doh, has decided that it is better to regroup, done what he should have done to begin with, and gathered a proper force for this assault. And, he will be returning once more to face Pleraxis Ort the Unyielding.
Yep. It's being written down right now.
Yep. Good. Oh, actually, I don't think he should be the Unyielding. I think the other guy should be the Unyielding. Because he held off the Warp Talons.
He did, that's true. But would really Pleraxis let him take the glory?
This is true, this is a good point. Yeah, this is a good point.
We'll
develop some names. It was only my sorcerer and my lord that survived.
He did quite a lot.
He did alright, yeah. We'll have to come up with a name for the jump pack sorcerer.
Yeah.
See what he can do. And I might actually name my last remaining Havoc.
Yes.
I might promote him to be chosen to be champion or something. I had really good fun. We very much hope you all enjoyed that as well. If you've got any ideas for what we could do to make the
more mission ideas,
more ideas for how we could explain things more narratively, without having to resort to breaking into non-narrative speak every couple of minutes, please let us know. Drop them down in the comments and we will make those changes. If you've got any ideas for missions or names for characters, if somebody or something, an onager can have a designation number, a particular unit if they've done very well.
If you want us to name a squad leader something.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if there's a unit that you feel has done particularly well, and you think it deserves recognition, not that guy. He died.
He tried so hard.
He tried. So yes, I had really good fun, and thank you very much, Will, for that. And we will be back for the attack on the gates What was the scene in... What's the Lord of the Rings bit? The Battle of Helm's Deep, where they're all on the walls? Is that just what it was called, the Battle of Helm's Deep?
It's called Battle of Helm's Deep.
Right, we'll have to come up with a better name than that.
Yeah.
And we'll have AdMech holding the line again, attempting to, against an entirely new and different Word-Bearer Assault Force. So thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed that. Drop us comments down below if you want to. We're also on Instagram, and feel free to contact us there. If you want to come play against us, we've recently put up a game against one of our viewers, Ben. Check that out. It was a really good game.
It was a very good game.
And we've got another one coming up soon. And if you fancy a game against us, get us on Instagram. We've got Twitter accounts. They're all linked in our channel description, and probably down below in the description anyway. And we've got an email address that is in our channel description. So just drop us a message. We're in Reading in Berkshire in the UK. So you're more than welcome to come and give us a game, whether it's 40k or 30k. We're happy to play either. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.
Indeed. Thanks very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.